All right, let's jump right in. Today we're tackling one of the most complicated and, let's be honest, personal industries out there, healthcare. It's a world filled with mind-boggling numbers and life and death decisions, but underneath it all, it's a business. And our mission today is to figure out how that business actually works.
And that leads us to the one question that really matters. You hear about trillions of dollars being spent, but who is really, truly profiting from it all? The answer, as you're about to see, is probably not who you think.
Okay, this is it. This chart right here is our guide. I know, it looks like a total mess of bars and colors, but trust me, the secret story of the entire healthcare economy is hiding in plain sight right here, and we are going to decode it together.
First up, let's look at the biggest players on the board, the ones that are just massive in terms of sheer size. I'm talking about the insurers and the distributors. You know, when we ask who's making all the money, your eyes just naturally go to the tallest bars on the left side of the chart. It seems like a pretty simple answer, right? The companies with the biggest revenues must be the most profitable. And make no mistake, these companies are absolute giants. I mean, look at CVS Health, pulling in $429 billion. UnitedHealth, $400 billion. These aren't just big for healthcare companies. Their revenues are bigger than many of the tech titans you hear about every single day. But here's where we get our first little twist in the story. Does moving the most money actually mean you get to keep the most money? Is a huge top line really what it's all about?
To figure that out, let's zoom in on Cardinal Health, a colossal $226 billion revenue bar. They are a massive pipeline for medical supplies. But I want you to look closely. Look all the way down at the bottom. Do you see that tiny little sliver of green? That's their profit. That little sliver represents a profit margin of just 0.6%. Let that sink in for a second. For every $100 worth of stuff they move, they only get to keep 60 cents. This isn't a high-profit game, it's a high-volume machine. So what's going on here? Well, we can call this the grocery store model. It's a business that's all about scale. It's built on moving a massive amount of stuff and making just a few pennies on every single dollar. You have to be gigantic just to make it work. Okay, so if the big volume players are basically just running on a treadmill, where's the real profit hiding? Let's shift gears and investigate our next group of suspects, the high-stakes world of pharma. To understand pharma, you have to imagine a totally different kind of business. Imagine spending billions and billions of dollars for years on pure research, with absolutely zero guarantee that you'll ever sell a single product at the end of it. It's a huge gamble. And you can see that gamble playing out right here on our chart. See those big purple bars for companies like Merck and Pfizer? That's their spending on research and development. For these guys, R&D isn't just another cost, it is the entire engine of their business. Take Merck. $18 billion spent on R&D. You can think of that as the price of a very, very expensive lottery ticket. They're hoping for that one miracle drug that will change the world and pay for all the bets that didn't pan out. And if you want to see this model taken to the absolute extreme, check out Vertex. This is wild. Almost half of every single dollar they bring in, 45%, gets plowed right back into more R&D. They're basically a giant publicly traded science experiment. So this gives us our second business model. You can think of pharma as a kind of venture capital firm. They make these huge, incredibly risky bets on unproven ideas, and they're just hoping that one of those moonshots pays off big time. Okay, so we've seen the volume players and the high-stakes gamblers, but we still haven't really found the companies that are just consistently, powerfully profitable. So now, it's time for the big reveal.
There is a saying that really gets to the heart of where the real power is in this industry. The idea is that the most profitable business isn't always the service or the drug itself, but in the essential, can't-live-without-it tool that makes it all possible. So let's go back to our chart one last time, and I want you to look all the way over to the right. See those companies like Edwards Lifesciences and Intuitive Surgical? Now look at that orange bar. That's gross profit. Notice anything different? It's not a tiny sliver. It's almost the entire bar. Get this. Edwards Lifesciences has a gross margin of 80%. 80! That's the kind of money you expect a software company to make, but they are making physical, life-saving hardware. It's absolutely staggering. So how on earth do they do it? Well, the answer comes down to one thing. Pricing power. Think about it. When a surgeon needs one specific, highly engineered heart valve to save your life, or a hospital needs the Da Vinci robot to perform a complex surgery, they're not shopping around for a discount. There's no alternative. You pay the price. So,
We've looked at the giants, the gamblers, and the toolmakers. We've seen 3 completely different ways of doing business. Now let's put it all together into one simple, clear picture.
And here it is, the healthcare triangle. You've got 3 different games being played in the same industry. You have the insurers playing the grocery store game, all about massive volume. You've got Pharma playing the venture capital game, betting it all on high-risk R&D. And then you have MedTech playing the luxury brand game, driven by untouchable pricing power.
So when you step all the way back, the data shows you this hidden hierarchy that the headlines almost always miss. We kind of know that banks own volume, and big tech wants to own the future. Well, what this chart shows us is that in healthcare, it's MedTech that owns the margins.
And that really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If we can see this hidden structure in healthcare just by following the money, what other giant industries out there have a secret hierarchy that we're completely missing? What else is hiding in plain sight?